Alright, this tutorial is going to be drawing number 1 of the Dirty Dozen. I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like here. So if we're in a sketch on the front plane, remember that the front we're talking about is going to be looking at this surface right here. Okay, so we're going to basically be drawing this L shape first. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that now, and let's start with our line tool. Now, even though we know the dimensions, we don't have to necessarily put them in at this point. In fact, I'm just going to draw the basic L shape without placing any dimensions at all. Alright, now notice, as we were drawing some of these lines, particularly the horizontal and vertical lines, we were noticing some symbols popping up for our geometric constraints. If you remember from our study on the geometric constraints, occasionally they'll be placed while you're drawing the object, and if you're not intending for them to be placed, this would be the time for you to show all your constraints, and any of them that you do not want, we can go ahead and delete. In this case, all the parallel constraints that were added and your vertical constraints and horizontal constraints, we truly want those to be there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the Show All Constraints button, and we're ready to proceed with this particular drawing. Now, since I've already got the shape, I need to figure out my overall height and my overall width. I'm going to go ahead and place a dimension for my overall height. If I look at my drawing sheet, that's going to be 1.5. And my overall width is going to be 2.25. Alright. Now the cutout that's here in the front is going to be, looks like this goes down 0.75 here. And this should be also 0.75. We don't need to place that dimension. That would over-constrain the sketch. But there is one more dimension that we need to place. If you notice, this green line here still moves, so we need to tell the computer how long this top line needs to be. So that little edge is going to have a width of 0.75 as well. Now we can go ahead and finish the sketch. Zoom back out so you can see it. And now it's time to extrude our object. Alright, we're simply going to go to the extrude command, and this dialog box shows up. We have a few different options here. The one that I would prefer in this drawing is going to be the symmetric. If you get in the habit of doing this, it places a plane right down the middle of your object, which works out great in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and my total depth of the object is going to be 1.5. And there we have our first 3D block. Okay. Now what we need to do is create more sketches so that we can create these features that need to either be extruded or cut out or something like that. So in this case, I'm going to look at the right side view, either this surface or this surface, and I'm going to go ahead and sketch on one of those. I'm going to start with this front cutout here on the right side. And the easiest way I know to do this is to just place a rectangle. Now there's only 2 dimensions we need on this rectangle. Since we snapped onto the top and bottom lines, we need a dimension here. And if I look at my drawing, that's going to be 0.5. And I need a dimension on the other side of 0.5 as well. There we have it, finished sketch. And if I extrude, I'm going to use the cut option here. And I'm going to put in a distance of 0.75. And I'm just going to do the same thing to this top surface here. Or I could do it to this front surface. I'm going to go ahead and just do it to the front surface here. Actually, it's a surface that appears on the right side view. I could either draw it in with lines, or once again, I could just snap onto this top edge and draw a rectangle the shape that I want. This one is probably the easiest method because we can just dimension this as 0.25. Dimension from here to here is 0.25. And dimension from this bottom cutout edge to that surface there as being 0.25 as well. And finish the sketch, extrude, cut, and distance all. And when I hit the home button, we should have the exact object that's number 1 of the Dirty Dozen.